Donald Trump, after people like me, his supporters, were called garbage by our current president, which is amazing in itself, half the population being called garbage, showed up in a garbage truck to do his latest event. No, it's classic. Let's take a look here.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
In honor of Kamala and Joe Biden, Kamala calling everybody that supports Trump allegedly Nazis. Not sure she did. I think she more calls Trump a fascist. But Joe Biden, he called us all garbage. And then Joe Biden tried to, and his media friends tried to act like, no. There was an apostrophe in there. Oh, shut up. Here. How about one time, Joe Biden? How about one time in your miserable, sad, lying, ridiculous life, you walk like a man? You simply say, you know what? I got carried away. I apologize. Don't try to bullshit us with apostrophes and other nonsense. Don't try to do that. That's senseless and silly, and even your most ardent supporters, as sick as those people are, don't believe you. You know, it's reminiscent of, I did not have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. It depends on what it is, and all the other stupid stuff that Democratic leaders have been trying to push by. Just walk like men. I say it all the time. Just act like a man with the great American penis. You know, I'm tired of being called names because I support Donald Trump. Nazis, garbage, you know, deplorable, despicable. It's like, you know, we got a playbook. We can't, as Democrats, apparently, talk about anything that we've actually done in 12 or 16 years. Cannot talk about anything we're currently doing or what we're doing moving forward. The whole thing about billionaires paying their fair share to pay for these programs. There's a study out there that says if all the billionaires in the United States gave every dime that they had, Kamala Harris still could not pay for the programs she's proposing. It's all a shell game. It's all Bernie made up. But let me go back to being called a Nazi or garbage. You know, I raised two great kids. I helped raise two great stepkids. I'm not acting as if I raised them. I was a very small part. But I did put 4 kids through college. I put a wife through college. I put 2 wives through college. I've worked my ass off since I was 12 years old as a paper boy, on through working mowing lawns, on through working at a sporting goods store, on through working at Indiana University Northwest, on through paying back my scholarship to Indiana University, on through currently doing 2 jobs right now. Now, I've paid more than my fair share of tax, whether it is my income tax, whether it is gas tax, whether it is last night, Lee and I went to dinner, the tax on the dinner, only to be called a Nazi because I support somebody that 4 years ago made all Americans, African Americans especially, lives better. I'm a Nazi for that. There is no tell me what your programs are. They're simply name calling. Despicable is what Hillary Clinton called us. Nazis. Garbage. And I'm disgusted and I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. And you can kiss my ass for that. Never been in trouble. I've never been arrested. The only thing I've ever done is get a ticket. I paid my bills on time. My credit rating is through the roof. I stay in my own lane. I don't go hassle people. I shop local and I'm a Nazi. Now look, I'll make fun of myself and the stupid things that I've said on air. But what the hell, when you're on air for 5 hours a day, 360 days a year, basically, you're going to say something stupid. And when I have, I've apologized openly and honestly. And for that, I'm a Nazi. We've raised money for bikes for kids in depressed areas. We've gone out and had golf. I had a basketball camp for 24 years in my hometown of Maryville/Gary, Indiana, raised the price one time and always gave the majority of the money back to my high school. I knew the kids in the area. Hell, half of them went to camp for free, and I'm a Nazi? I get branded a Nazi because I decide to vote for somebody that isn't in your party, that makes me a Nazi? A Nazi is among the worst people to ever walk this planet. They try to extinct a people, the Jewish people, and other people. And I'm that? That's how you describe me? Because I simply won't vote for somebody that has never gotten a vote, that has not earned the right to get my vote. Now, I have not voted for Donald Trump ever. Back when he was running against Hillary, I said very openly, very honestly, neither have earned my vote. I'm voting for me. I did. I got 52 votes, I was told. Don't know if that's true or not, but I got 52 votes. 2020, I should have voted for Trump. I regret not voting for Trump. Again, I voted for me. Not the smartest thing I've ever done, but again, I don't know. I didn't really pay attention then. Maybe it's getting older and having less to do. I don't know. That's what some Democrat told me. I'm a sad old man with nothing to do, and like most sad old men, they dive into politics. I feel like I got a lot to do. Hell, I'm working 5 hours a day. I am on the air. In between, I'm prepping. Before, I'm prepping. After, I'm prepping. Then I got leaves all over the place. And I'm out there mowing and raking. And I'm out there working. And, of course, I got to play golf. So don't tell me I got nothing to do. But what even makes me angrier is the fact that everyone's in on the big lie. I mean, Norah O'Donnell yesterday called Trump's garbage a stunt, coming in a garbage. Maybe it was. Said that Trump supporters on the air, I think she's on CBS, gave Joe Biden no grace for mistakenly calling Trump supporters Nazis. How about that? They're all in on it. Everybody is in on it. The media is angry because Nick Bosa had a hat that said, "Make America Great Again." The media is furious. If he'd have said, "Vote Harris," the media wouldn't be furious. Everybody's in on it. You know, allegedly, don't know if it's true, seems to be, but don't know, allegedly, reports, whether they were jobs or crime, were falsified. I don't know about falsified, falsely reported and then corrected. Now, that's all alleged. So even the government may be in on it. Everyone's in on this plan to thwart Donald Trump. Hollywood's in on it. Sports are in on it. Look, sports are in on it to the point where, man, oh man, Greg Popovich, Glenn Doc Rivers, Steve Kerr, those three coaches are celebrated for ripping Donald Trump. Steph Curry celebrated for his guts, for his intestinal fortitude, for speaking at the Democratic National Convention, which I'm cool with. Hey, it's America. You're free to have an opinion, except if you're a Trump supporter. Then your opinion lands you as garbage. Think about that. You are the discarded. You are the refuse of others. That's what garbage is. Now, isn't that nonsense? What a word to use to describe Trump supporters. Nazis, the worst. Nazis, unbelievable. That somebody in the United States can compare United States citizens. Let me back up. Somebody in a leadership position in the United States of America would think so little of people that have an opinion opposite of theirs that they would call those people with that opinion Nazis. The worst people to walk this earth. Among the worst people. Now think about that for just a second. Think about that. Nothing about policy. Nothing about what we're going to do in the inner city. Nothing about how we're going to help education. The only thing that we're being told by the Harris campaign is that, yes, the last 4 years have sucked, and yes, I've been the vice president, but we got a new way forward. And if you don't believe in us, you're garbage. If you don't believe in us, you're a Nazi. It's total bullshit. And the entire campaign and the entire group of you can kiss my ass. I'm Dan Dakich. I endorse this message, and I'm proudly voting for Donald Trump, period. people are tired. People are really, really tired of the bullshit that's being thrown our way. And I understand, I do, if you're tired of the bullshit being thrown out by Republicans. I do. I get it. Normal people are tired of all of this. And to show how tired they are of the suppression or the attempted suppression of freedom of speech, Nick Bosa, who famously showed a Make America Great Again cap during a NBC post-game interview that he interrupted with his teammate Brock Purdy and whoever the little sideline girl is. He, of course, is being vilified in the media. The racists, the guys we know, the gals we know that are always going to show to be racist, the Jim Trotters of the world, the Bomani Joneses of the world, crazy-ass Horford sisters, Jamel Hill are all up in arms. And if they're up in arms over a cause, you are right to be on the other side of those people. And most people are. Did you know that after Nick Bosa showed his hat on NBC, NBC scrubbed that part of the picture? Isn't that amazing? Now, if they're going to scrub that, amazing what they're doing in mainstream media these days, certainly the Legacy Network, NBC, ABC, CBS, in scrubbing what's real. We already saw it with 60 Minutes, and we saw it again. But Nick Bosa, as the vultures are circling around him, Nick Bosa stood tall. They're calling on the NFL to take action. Jim Trotter, who was among the dullest and worst writers that there is, a DEI hire that somehow maintained his job until, well, NFL Network and others woke up and said adios. Jim Trotter is all upset, comparing it to Colin Kaepernick. You must take action. Well, good. Hey, I support your right to do that. I also support my right to make fun of Bomani Jones and Jamel Hill and Nick Trotter, or Nick whatever, Jim Trotter. And I learned that Americans actually don't support the grifting. They don't support the race hustlers. How do I know this? It's become popular. You go to the jersey sales. NFL jerseys are all the rage. You go and you look. Hey, who's selling the most jerseys? Well, the most jerseys right now, here it is, Nick Bosa. Breaking. 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa's jersey has become the most popular jersey on the NFL shop since Bosa wore a Trump MAGA cap Sunday night. Is sold out Bosa's jersey has also sold out or nearly in many in-person stores across the country. Of course, the average person's tired of this crap. Look, bring out Mark Cuban. Bring out Rosie O'Donnell. Bring out whoever you want to bring out. And all these billionaires. But people like you and me, people that go to work for a living, people that pay tax on time, people that raise kids and are called Nazis for it, we understand. We understand that it's time people stood up. It is. And people can stand up in the NFL by jersey sales. Remember when Harrison Butker made that, oh my God, much criticized speech at a Christian school, at a Catholic school, as a Catholic? And the left went nuts. Guess what happened to Butker's jersey? It became the number one bestseller in America. Now, let's go back to Kaepernick. Your yearly reminder that Kaepernick was blackballed from the NFL for being black with a political opinion. Read a post featuring Bosa, shared by our favorite Nancy Armour. Nick Bosa showed us who he is, and it ain't Colin Kaepernick, penned white guy, Scott Osterlin, in an op-ed for the San Francisco Chronicle. Former ESPN hosts Jamel Hill and Bomani Jones are feigning outrage over Bosa's hat, claiming his message vindicates Kaepernick. Sure, okay. Hey, Cap, yo, you're vindicated. Now go stand over there and just be vindicated. Because the race hustlers, which were so brilliantly exposed by Matt Walsh in Am I a Racist? I'm sorry, I don't know if that's a competitor of ours, but it was so brilliant. Anyway, the race hustlers are all a Twitter. They're seeing opportunity. How can I make that money, yo? How can I put myself in a position like that little, I got 2 words for you, bite me. Hey, Reggie, let's go play golf. Anyway, long story short, it's all a big scam, man. It's all a big con. Good for Nick Bosa. I hope more people do. I hope more NFL players. What are you going to do, suspend them all? What are you going to do? Nobody in his locker room's mad at him. But boy, oh boy, we're mad out there because I got to make that cap money, yo, playa. Bomani Jones, what up, playa? I know all the idiot code words these idiots use. It's so funny. Oh, man. Speaking of funny, I tried to watch the NBA yesterday. I did, actually. I watched the overtime of the Pacers taking on the Celtics, and it was pretty good, but no one else is watching. And you can't. I'm sorry, you can't watch the NBA. You can't really tell whether it's the NBA or the WNBA. I mean, all these guys out there playing look like girls. They honestly do. Jason Whitlock's right. The feminization of the adult male is not only relative to how he speaks, but it's how he dresses, how he goes about his business. There are more effeminate males playing in the NBA right now than at any time ever. Yeah, the skill is great. Oh, yeah, the athleticism through the roof. But the effeminate male, the Tim Waltz, Doug Erdman, although Doug seems to be pretty tough when it comes to ex-girlfriends, people aren't watching. They're just not. NBA's not off to a hot start. Viewership has been declining heavily, according to the most liberal of websites. Awful announcement. The opening doubleheader averaged 1.6 million viewers. That's an average game for Caitlin Clark, down 42% from last year's debut with Victor Wembanyama. Bucks Sixers, 1.71 million viewers, down from 255. Celtics Knicks. Listen to this one. 49% is what the Suns and the Clippers were down compared to last year. The Thursday game on TNT lost 30%, 29%. And this is the interesting one down here. Knicks-Pacers, a rematch of a super, really, playoff series. 830,000 viewers on ESPN, less than college football on ESPN2. Now, ESPN is in far more homes than ESPN2. Look at that last number, 830,000 viewers. That's it for the biggest city in the country against a team that we just feels like just watched. I'll give you the reasons for it. The reasons for it is the game is unwatchable. The game is simply a shooting contest. And when you watch players, they don't care. When you watch players, they could care less. They don't give a rat's ass. They all know they're being paid so much money that they don't have to care, and it's all guaranteed. When you go to an NBA game, I will say this, it feels like they care a little more. But when you watch an NBA game on TV, the dudes looks like chicks. It's a shooting contest, and there's literally nobody that you know. I mean, how the hell do you know all these foreign players? How the hell do you know all these kids that played 1 year in college or played in some developmental G League, D League, whatever the hell it is? You don't. And that's fascinating to me. No, it really is. It is absolutely fascinating. And you know what? I don't think it's going to get any better. I get it. We're all kind of tired of LeBron, and LeBron isn't him. Like, he's a great player. I understand people that want to make him out to be the greatest player ever. I get it, man. I get it. But the truth of the matter is he's never been that appealing. And this is weird to say, but his commercials suck. He sucks in them. And before you laugh at me, one of the ways Michael Jordan became a billionaire was Spike Lee and Michael Jordan Nike commercials were something that people loved. There's no creativity. There's nobody relatable. The money's too much. The game is too bad. Jump shooting, great. All right, fine. The skill, fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Players are more skilled. They shoot it from deeper. They handle the ball better than ever before. The bodies, the athletic ability, absolutely off the charts. But the game itself and the people that they're trying to promote, Watch that Up in Smoke show with those two idiots, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Watch how they talk about the NBA. Yeah, man, when I came into the league, we had some real OGs. They were drinking beers on the bench. I mean, this is what you're watching. I don't know, man. I don't think it's a race thing. I know everything seems to be a race thing. What I do know is I love basketball. I mean, I don't like it. I fell in love with it. Weirdly fell in love with it. But I don't watch it. I don't watch it, except last night. I turned it on to watch overtime, Celtics against the freaking Pacers. And you know what happened? One team made a three late. The other team missed a three late. The team that made the three late won the game. That's it. All right, here we go. You know it's that time again. The New York Times is fighting like hell. They got a new target in their sights. They got a new target as the election nears. And the Democrats panic because they haven't taken this over. Boy, what a show of strength by the media, though. This time they're attacking Ivanka Trump for the mere sin of leaving politics, just like they wanted her to do. For years, the Post, the Times, the USA Today, every pundit bitched, whined, and moaned about Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, her husband. Now that Ivanka Trump has said, I'll raise some kids, I'll step out of the limelight, it's a pain in the ass, you're attacking my family. Now they're mad about it. Now they're upset. This is what I'm saying. Look, every single time you hear a joke on late night TV, actually 95% of the time, there's something attacking Trump. Every time you read one of these rags or a headline of one of these rags, they're attacking Trump. Every time. This time it's Ivanka. You didn't want her in politics. You said she and her husband weren't qualified. She leaves, and now you're mad about it. After spending approximately 2,000 words bashing Ivanka for backing out of politics and attending rallies for her father, the Times reports that Ivanka cares for her 3 children as well as her 98-year-old grandmother, who is the mother of Ivana. Well, I'm sorry, I've got this whole thing screwed up. It's Ivana Trump. It was the mother of Ivana Trump's mother, Ivanka Trump. They're mad that she's doing this. You can't win with idiots. You can't. I mean, 2,000 words mad at a mother being a mother. You want to know why idiots raged last night in L.A. after the Dodgers won? No father. How about that? You get the idea. The New York Times was not going to let this election go without an Ivana hit piece. They played the hits in the piece. Her daddy, 43 felonies. Ivanka and Jared were insanely wealthy. There would be questions about the deals if Trump returns to the White House. Wield influence as shadowy figures, kind of like Obama, no? From Miami. I want to be a shadowy figure wielding influence. Socialites apparently shunned Ivanka, according to what they're telling us here. She was a nobody on the social scene. They were simply not part of the society. How nice. Ivanka removes herself from politics like the crazy libs want her to do, and they attack her leaving politics. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, don't you see what crap this all is? Listen to this. Ivanka's current life, well, it sounds kind of incredible. Her bank account has a bunch of zeros. She gets to take her kids to school, hit the gym, head out to the boat for some wake surfing, maybe book a private jet to shred some real ocean waves, take the kids on nice vacation to beautiful locations, go skiing. What a life. All these miserable New York Times would take it in a second. Yeah. I mean, why does the New York Times get to dictate what a mother does with her children? I'm stunned by all this. I am. I don't understand how any of this is, well, I do understand. See, you saw the list. Remember, I've always told you about the list? When you're in coaching, the list comes out. You have a bad season. Well, remember 4 years ago, he said this. Remember 6 years ago he did this. Remember 2 years ago this? It's like if Brian Kelly ever gets fired, you mark my words, at LSU they're going to talk about his fake accent and dancing with a recruit. That's what they're going to talk about because that's part of the list. Well, what the New York Times did with Ms. Trump is give her the list. That's what they did. They gave her the list. Here is the list. Here is the list for Donald, not her, Donald. Again, as I said earlier, this is all stacked against Trump. All of it. Every bit of it. And it's fascinating to see him fight and fight and fight. Texas A&M, getting back to a little bit of football, Mike Elko offered a clarification for his politician comments last week, and ESPN's Reese Davis is speculating if those comments were about Steve Sarkisian. Here's Elko's comments. I think it's the way we talk to the young people and the things we talk about, the messaging, how we bring really good people into the building. We talk about doing things together. We talk about culture. Everyone talks about it, but we go out and live it every day. And I think we back up our actions. We're very honest. We're very open. It's a real program. It is not fake. It is not a politician running this program talking fast and BSing everyone. This is a real program. And for all the recruits out there, this is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, well, a lot of people are speculating he was taking shots at Jimbo Fisher. Elko cleaned that up yesterday. I agree with Reese Davis here. The low-key target, Reese said, could have also been Steve Sarkisian. A lot of people, as I said, speculated it was Jimbo Fisher. The low-key target could have also been Steve Sarkisian because now you're back in the conference with Texas. That's true. You're always fighting against Texas. Very true. And I don't know that Sark fits the mold of what he said, but for all those 100 years that we've been talking about A&M football, everything is in some way, shape, or form, or fashion aimed at Texas. Texas A&M left the Big 12 to go to the SEC because of Texas. They didn't want Texas to come in because they don't like Texas. So that's a possibility too. You know, I agree with what Elko said. If he was going to take shots at Jimbo Fisher, he was offered the opportunity many, many times. But here's the antidote to that. When you get a winning, which is what Elko is now doing after a first opening game loss to Notre Dame, when you get a winning, man, you feel bulletproof and you start talking. When you're trying to build a program, you don't do that. He's gotten a winning, so now he's bulletproof. Now he's taking shots. It's clearly a shot at somebody, at least I think it is. But the facts of the matter are these. Texas A&M is really good. Texas is really good. We'll see down the road. Best way to overcome a rival, beat the rival, win more championships, and a national championship, of course, is, well, insanely devastating to the rival. So I've always been glad that even though I like Matt Painter and I like Purdue to a certain degree, I'm glad they've never won a national championship. Speaking of national championships that are never going to happen, Pitt head coach Pat Narduzzi, who is a media darling and rightfully so, revealed they're very good, by the way. They may win a national championship. How he was able to flip last year's 3-9 team to a 7-0 start this season. They're ranked 14th in the country. They're pretty good. So finally, this guy is living up to the love that the media has shown him. Listen to this. NIL cuts, tough conversation, and an offensive overhaul. Listen to this. The school's NIL collective, in conjunction with Narduzzi, made the offseason decision to overhaul the distribution structure on the team, from paying each player in a tiered system to paying select players that earn it. Now think about that. We won 3 games and had a structure where everyone was getting paid, and that didn't work for us. So we changed it, said Chris Bicknell, a tech entrepreneur and Pitt booster, who not only founded the school's collective Alliance 412, but donated $20 million of his own money to the football program in 2001. You have to be hungry. Yeah. If you want sponsorships and you want to be paid like a professional, you have to earn it. This team is hungry. One of the linebackers went on to say, I don't want to say that money had an impact, but the attitude about money did. Money doesn't get you a championship. Really? If it did, all these teams that have spent all these freaking money would be really good. Florida State, Michigan is spending a lot of money. I want hungry players. You talk about how did we go from 3-9? That's how. It's kind of disgusting, really, but smart. I mean, I always said this is pay for play. This isn't NIL, name, image, and likeness. This is, hey, you play well, I pay you. You know, Indiana basketball in the pre-Bob Knight era used to do that. One of the assistant coaches that I worked with, Joby Wright, was a terrific player at Indiana. He said this, I don't know whether it's true or not. It must have been a much more honest society back then. When you had a good game, double-double, something like that, which he did, you put your shoes out. And in the morning, when you woke up, your shoes had cash in them. Money's always been a pretty good incentive for a lot of things. And now it is for college football players, certainly for the University of Pittsburgh. Good for you guys. You go. Joe Mazzulla is a world champion, although the world champion is in some dispute, but he is the world champion coach of the Boston Celtics. Joe Mazzulla is a man of the people, and he wants to see fighting back in the NBA. That's right. I said it. I meant it. Fighting back in the NBA. I think the biggest thing that we rob people from as an entertainment standpoint is you can't fight anymore. I wish you could bring back fighting. I mean, you want to talk about robbing the league of entertainment. What's more entertaining than when there was a little scuffle? Well, I am 1,000% with Joe Mazzulla. Having a player scuffle, I'm digging it. But here's the problem. You got every wannabe little clown sitting around paying big money to go to an NBA game. You've seen the guy, the racially confused white guy who wears the white T-shirt, gold chain, goes, oh, when somebody makes a dunk or can't believe it, acts like an idiot. And then you've got the African-American guy. Same thing. They both want to be part of the action. The young guys, the older guys, African-American and white, were like, it's pretty good, great game. The young guys, they want to be a part of the action. They feel a closeness to the players because they can DM them. They can X them. They can do whatever you do on social media to get, in their opinion, close to them. So these idiots would join the fray. And you can't have that. Nobody needs another Malice in the Palace. Nobody needs that. That's the problem with fighting in the NBA. The idiots on the side would join the fray quickly. And that ain't good. No, that ain't good. I don't know. I want fighting back. I'm digging fighting. I got no problem. But I'd rather see that than that dorky, dipshitty jersey exchange after the game. Jesus. Is there anything more ridiculous than that? Like, if that wasn't done, seriously, the whitest things in America are birdie juice by white women if someone gets a birdie in their group. The country club picture of a guy holding his flight championship plaque. And I actually think one of the whitest things is take a picture of me while I give my jersey to my friend and he gives it to me. I got a headache. When will they ever learn? Don't ever have a Diggs on your team. I just don't. I'm sorry. Trevon Diggs, the Colts, or the great, he's great. Corner, everybody's great on losing teams. The Cowboys corner, Trevon Diggs, has doubled down on his heated interaction with a Dallas reporter, claiming the reporter was completely wrong and throwing dirt on my name. Keep your name out of my mouth. I stand on business. Here's Diggs. Let's hear from Diggs. Is Diggs talking or am I reading? I see sock.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop playing with me, bro.
Just asking a question, Trevon. I mean, I'm happy to have you answer the question.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took for that? That's what you got from that whole play, that's what you got from that?
I'm asking you. We can talk about it more. What were you doing then?
There you go. I just felt like it was unnecessary. Oh, I feel like your horse shit play is unnecessary. It's unnecessary to pay you, but I just threw that in. Felt like he was trying to use my name for clicks. So what? So are you. After the game, I just happened to see the post. Really? You just happened. You're still in your uniform. You're still in your uniform, and you got to run to your phone. That's why I have respect. I used to have big respect for every athlete. Now it's like, shut up. Man, I got to see my phone. I just happened to see the post. I looked and clicked on it, see who it was. And I was like, he's right here. I just saw you. So I went up to him, spoke to him. I felt like there was a lot of emotion, just losing, coming out of the game. We're fresh off a loss. I'm a competitor. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you're right after the game in uniform, the first thing you're doing is looking at your phone. Remember, you're not a competitor. Let me finish that thought. But remember, the pro athlete motto, I'm a man. Only God can judge me. It's in the past. I'm a competitor. Really? All right. Hey, I was like, hey, I just saw you. So I went up to him, and I just spoke how I felt. Felt like there was a lot of emotion, just losing, coming out of the game. We're fresh off the loss. I'm a competitor. So, I wanted to win. Really? So just a lot of emotions, and I just kind of let my emotions get the best of me. That's good, man. At the end of the day, it still doesn't make it right for anybody to just be saying anything or just trying to throw dirt on your name or make you seem like you're doing bad or a bad job. Well, that's part of sports, sweetheart. Look, Peaches, it's part of everything now. It's part of this job. It's part of my radio job. It's part of every job, sweetheart. I felt like I did everything I could. I felt like I was tackling, setting the edges, just doing everything to help my team win. And for him to try to throw that on my name, it just didn't sit right with me because he was completely wrong. I bet he wasn't. Sensitive little guys, excuse me. That's an insult to girls. Girls battle. I never once saw Caitlin Clark do that. People criticize, including me, Caitlin Clark all the time. I never saw her once act like a little bitch. That's exactly what that guy did. Exactly what he acted like. You would say that to his face, Dakich. Probably would. Quit acting like a little bitch. I don't know. You think a punch in the face is going to hurt this face? By the way, it's not Halloween. This is my real face. What's Halloween? What's trick-or-treating? Noon to 1 now?